excellently played game, but definitely worth mentioning Quakefoot in that match.
Yeah. He got first blood, so he has lane advantage, and then I feel like Quakefoot is a very good player at playing with lane advantage. A lot of players will, you know, overall the field has kind of got better at this in the last couple of years, but he's very good at pressing the advantage to the limit. He knows the matchup is favorable, he knows he has an extra few hundred gold from the first blood, and he's going to take it to Weehan, just pressure him that extra bit hard, so that even one mistake in that lane from Invoker, an already unfavorable lane, turns it into a complete stomp instead of just a loss.
Yeah,
so,
impressive showing team effort all around. Obviously, for Nigma, they got told by Owen to go back to the drawing board, but they don't have that much time because the draft is very soon upon us for the second game of this series. What do you say? You're the coach of Nigma at this point, Synderen. What do you say? What needs to change as we are in the draft here? I think
the most important thing is you don't overthink it. Like, every team has games where they just mess up. I personally still stand by. I think the way they put their lanes was wrong, and I think maybe this last pick Invoker was a bit too optimistic because they picked it into a losing matchup. But don't psych yourselves out, you know? It's next game, you get a new draft, you secure your lanes a bit better, and you are an experienced team. You know that game was almost out of reach after minute 10. So the last 20 minutes is kind of you playing for an extremely low win percentage. And as long as you don't feel like, oh man, you know, you just bury yourself more and more in that game with every death, and you understand what the conditions are, you should be able to go for a new game. These players are super experienced. I don't think they're...
Yeah, the secret here is just you need to understand why you lost the game, and as long as you can figure that out rapidly, then the rest of the game doesn't really matter. You're just playing out something, you're like, okay, we lost because of X reason, and it makes it less emotionally intensive, and will hopefully keep your mind clear.
Queen of Pain made it through, by the way. For everybody that predicted Queen of Pain to get first blood, she is in the pool.
Instantly picked, yes. Alright, are we going to see the first Queen of Pain Arcana?
I mean, we better.
In Pro Dota 2, assuming it hasn't happened in the last 12 hours.
I mean, it's a flex pick. Who would play it?
I think they all have high enough level on their battle pass, right?
No, because I think GH doesn't have any levels on the account that he's playing on.
They don't play QOP 4. They would play it on Mind Control or...
Mind Control's been playing it almost exclusively for them so far.
Yeah.
Okay, well
Mind Control always has high level battle.
I think we're good, yeah.
Okay. It's, how did you guys like the Queen of Pain release video? It was a little interesting.
I was put off by her face. I did not expect her face to be so, like, I liked it. Let's put that one forward first. I liked the video a lot. I did not expect her face to be a little bit Disney-esque. Or Pixar-esque.
10 seconds remaining.
Her eyes are Pixar-esque, I thought.
I mean, she is a succubus, so I mean...
5 seconds remaining.
Those other things also suck in a lot of viewers, I guess.
What?
10 seconds remaining.
It was very... The video was very BDSM. It was weird. I was like...
I haven't seen the video yet. I just love the concept art. I still have that video to go. I need to see it. But, yeah. I saw a little bit of what's it called, a preview or whatever of the Arcana, and the effects looked really cool. I think the model was very well made, and I had really high expectations because the art was so good. So I'm not let down. I think it's really, really good.
Okay. Yeah.
The second style is dope too. Maybe a couple of people will be like, it looks too much like Venge, but I think when you see it in the game, I don't think you will like the silhouette.
Okay. But Venge has some sets with big wings too.
Yeah, maybe.
It's true.
Maybe it's.
I like the redness. I like let it be red, please.
We're gonna talk all about this Arcana, and then it's not even gonna be equipped or something.
There's a chance of that too. I must say,
Mind Control will definitely have it.
You said we had talked about Dragonite in the previous game because Dragonite has not been doing too hot at the moment, while Morana has been super hot. You want Dragonite to be picked only when you set him up for success in multiple roles, because it is a flex pick. Was that? Could you repeat a little bit the point that you were making? Because I'm kind of butchering it at the moment.
So the main thing I've seen is that teams have rated this Dragonite pick really high because he can go to multiple lanes. But then in many games we've seen Dragonite offlane just basically have no game. If a Dragonite offlane gets countered in lane, it feels like a liability a lot. So I think it's very, very important if you consider the flex pick and pick it this early that you find a way of covering your bases, and I think Nigma should try to exploit it. You know, if they can counterpick the Dragonite in 1 or 2 lanes, you isolate him to the third lane, and you can strategize around that.
The other thing that really defeats him is having a decent amount of magic damage. If you are running some physical damage lineup, or you have a hero like Venge who relies on minus armor, amplifying your team's right clicks, then he's going to be a lot more survivable, but he's already up against a Maledict and a Queen of Pain, so it might be a bit iffy for him. Clockwork is a bit of an interesting pick. Not very effective against Mirana is the obvious thing, but against the other two heroes, it can be pretty effective. Lots of magic damage, can separate team fights. It's still decent against Oracle, even outside of damage type, because you can go on Oracle and separate him from the guys that he wants to save. So a bit of an interesting pick, but I'm down for it. I think it's a good game for it right now.
Clock versus Oracle is one of those matchups that I would count as kind of the heroes counter each other in a way, because Clockwork is like 90% magic damage, and you have Fate's Edict, so anybody Clockwork is on, you can save very easily. But at the same time, if Clockwork goes on the Oracle, you can zone it out of the fight entirely, and then if Oracle has to save himself, you've already put yourself in a really good spot for the rest of the team fight. So, yep.
Are we looking at a mid Earth Spirit again?
It could be, or it's a Mirana core, which
I
is
think
also
it's
possible.
Mirana 3.
Okay.
It's slightly... Oh, I guess... sorry, I was thinking it was Nigma picking it. But yeah, Mirana 3, very possible. They don't know what the core matchup is, but Mirana 3 plus Earth Spirit could be a pretty straightforward arrow combo. You could put Mirana with Oracle as well if you really want to. That's a really easy arrow combo. Maybe not the best damage follow-up, but... And now we're looking at core heroes for Nigma to round out the rest of their lineup.
Yeah, how are we doing on intellect heroes compared to agility heroes? Ooh.
It was bad last game, dude. It was 5 agility heroes, 2 int, 3 strength.
Yeah, we
and now we are
3
looking at 3 int. It's okay, but another 3 strength and 2 agi. So int has got a lot of ground to catch up.
Yeah.
The Razor and the Bloodseeker really threw us for a loop in the last game.
Mm-hmm. What do we think about the Meepo?
It's a very good Meepo game. Liquid, there's 2 things I look for when it's Meepo. The one is, do you have heavy single target damage? Because obviously you only need to kill one of them, then they all die. And the other one is, do you have heroes that can either survive getting jumped by Meepo for an extended period of time and extend the fight, or heroes that don't rely on mobility, because Meepo shuts it down very well. This hero is, for example, extremely good against Mirana. I would say it's also a very good hero against Earth Spirit in a lot of situations. If you get a dagger, just jump him and kill him. He can't get away. Dragon Knight fares pretty well. I think that's the one hero Liquid has that's okay against Meepo, because he's tanky. He has Breathe Fire that affects all of the Meepos, so that helps.
A lot of damage reduction.
Yeah, but outside of that, it's a really good Meepo game. And you're also got to look at it from Nigma's perspective, right? You got destroyed. Now you wanna be the ones putting pressure. You wanna throw a curveball here and catch the enemy off guard. And how many games has Nigma done this? Even at TI with Weeha and Meepo, it was their best hero toward the end of TI9. Actually, they got a couple of key wins with that. Mm-hmm. So now that it's crunch time, you get into it, and you can. I mean, I don't want to read too much into it, but when you look at the Liquid cams, they do seem a little bit startled here compared to before. Boxy was trying to summon the Kraken or something with his his pose.
Yeah, he's trying to set time back so that they could ban Meepo instead of Meepo.
What is happening? Dude, he needs to do that while he has his legs on the table. All right, that's good too. That's an anti-mage impersonation.
He doesn't want to see what Nigma's gonna pick next. What will they pick next? What hero do you feel like they are lacking?
Missing their carry?
Missing Miracle Hero?
Yeah. I would like Miracle to not play true position 1 this game. I think when you have Meepo in this patch, that hero will often carry, and you want to play around... You can do both things. I'm personally a bigger fan of when the timings align with Meepo, so you have a carry that's really strong minute 20. Something like Bloodseeker or even Gyro, who I'm not saying they should pick that this game. I don't think it's a very good pick, but that style of carry would be nice. What's good against Dragon Knight? Pick.
You want to have
They do have Witch
damage?
Doctor. They do have Witch Doctor, so their laning is pretty strong.
Chen.
The Chen carry, of course. Interesting.
Wait.
So this is going to be a Miracle QOP, I'm guessing. Mind Control, Clockwork, and then the Witch Doctor Chen supports.
Yeah.
So it became a much earlier game lineup than...
I really like this, because there is no way Liquid saw this coming either, right? Like, they have already noted down this Clockwork and Witch Doctor as supports. So whether or not this turns out to be really good, at least it's not something Liquid expected. And Nigma have great success playing these kind of timing pushes around Chen and Meepo. They love these two heroes together. The amplified healing, the natural aura timing. Again, you make sure your timing's aligned now with one support that wants to play Meepo's kind of game. And now that QOP is your carry, it kind of fits the bill, right? This is a hero that peaks around that mid game. So it's honestly, it's looking good again. I like their draft last game as well, like I said. I do think the Invoker was a problem, but once again, they need to get the right lanes. This time there's not that big of a threat compared to last time with the axe, I would say. But
I'm just really worried for Liquid's ability to kill Meepo if he starts doing well. Like, Earth Spirit's not going to do it well. Oracle's not going to do it very well without being threatened. The Mirana is not going to be as effective. You can't just like arrow the Meepo. Starstorm's going to be alright, but not incredible. And Dragonite's going to be kind of weak damage output. Like, yeah, I think he can get his Breathe Fire talent and reduce all the Meepo right clicks by 50%, but outside of that, they don't have a lot going for them against the Meepo, so it makes a lot of sense for Nigma to just put everything on top of Meepo's game here by making sure that nobody else is going to be delayed in fighting.
What about a carry Pango?
That sounds decent. You definitely need either a lot of AoE or single target
damage. It gives you disarm against Meepo, it gives you a shield crash. It's a really good matchup into Meepo. That's why I'm even considering it, because I think your pick now needs to solve Meepo, because your strategy doesn't. So they have to pick something crazy a little bit, because there's not very many carry heroes that you're just like, oh, we'll just pick this carry hero and Meepo's covered. It's usually not the carry that does that. It's the overall strategy or the combination that you can build. And I just don't think anything combines with what they have, except if the last hero really does a good job at it. There's just I don't know what carry, traditional carry so to speak, you would pick here. That
are we sure that they can't rotate?
Carry Shaker?
Yeah, because I was
too.
thinking maybe Shaker for Boxy and then have carry Mirana or whatever, or it's going to be Shadowy. Never mind.
That's pretty good against Meepo. It's a good hero in lane. They're going to play carry Mirana, I think, and put Shadowfiend mid. It's a lot of damage. It's even more. I mean, the fear is kind of nice, I guess. To an extent, it doesn't. I'm not sold, but I think it's the right idea. Like you need someone who can deal with Meepo, and now they at least have a lane counter and some serious damage. Yeah. So I think it's okay.
Right click wise, it'll be pretty good because even if it's not fighting Meepo, I think it matches up pretty well against the other 4 heroes. Lots of AoE. If fighting right click to right click, he'll beat Queen of Pain. Most likely, he'll be able to crush Witch Doctor generally. So, and he also works a lot better with Oracle as well as a good guy to use the ulti on, so that he can fight to the death with some lifesteal. So it's a bit weird. I wasn't expecting the SF pick, but it's actually a carry Dragonite then.
Make a DK boy for Shadowfiend.
All right.
Okay.
I was actually pretty convinced they would put. My concern here for Liquid is once Nigma get their auras online with mech pipe Vlads, do you kill them or not? That's what it's going to come down to. Nigma will go for a Roche. If you can't win that fight and you give an Aegis to the Meepo, shit looks real grim. So you got to make sure that you can get off to the right foot in your lanes and win that very important fight, and then you should be good to go.
Are you happy with the mind control Chen?
Wait, he's Chen?
Yes.
Whoa, I didn't notice. I don't know, man.
He's going to buy the auras, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, have we seen that before? Has he ever played that in a pro game?
The only one I know who does offline Chen is 33.
Yeah.
Well, we know he can micro.
Skill. Yep.
Yeah.
He knows how to micro, and I think core Chen is actually very good in this game for the reasons we already mentioned with the auras. So I think the logic is sound, but I wonder how much experience he has with this hero in lane. It's obviously really important at this level of play.
I think it'll be fine because they're going to be laning against Dragonite. Dragonite's not going to do that much offensively, so Chen should just get a lot of farm himself, take a range creep from an enemy, and you might even be able to power deny and just stomp that lane actually. So one of the weaknesses of a safe lane Dragonite. So I like what Nigma's doing here. I think it can work.
Okay, well, let's see if it can work. It has to work for them to keep their tournament lives alive because it is elimination on the line here in the second game of the series. Let's head over to ODPixel.
It looks pretty good, especially with the Chen, and them moving it as a core Chen is pretty interesting because then he can get the timings even faster. So he can get those auras online at the same time that the Meepo's looking to just cruise and take over the game. So, okay, yeah, it's interesting. And more importantly than anything, look at this Queen of Pain.
Oh, yeah. Let's look at this Queen of Pain. Miracle, of course, with that beautiful Arcana. that you can get for the low price of level 455 on the Battle Pass. And honestly, I was playing with this Arcana this morning, Fogged, and I won 2 of the 3 games I played with it.
Okay.
That is many more than I should do when I'm playing Queen of Pain. So all I can take away from that is that this Arcana, it is pay to win. Now we'll see if it works in competitive, and if Miracle's going to get the win this game. But you know, you can't go against science. And,
yeah, no, I like this set quite a bit. The ult, for me, the persistent ground effect is the one thing that throws me off a little bit, because it stays for a second, and you're like, wait, is that like a damage over top?
Dude, it looks, it's
that's
like,
the only thing that bugs
it kind of looks like there's like 2 fishes coming out the side as well. It's pretty wild.
It's cool,
it's
though.
Pretty wild.
Sick.
I mean, it looks amazing. And I can't. Well, you've got to get 1,000 hits with the Sonic Wave to unlock the alternate style.
Wait, oh, it's 1,000 to get it.
1,000. I don't think it's kills. I think it's just hits with the Sonic Wave.
So each one counts. Like if you hit, like, what if you hit 5 meepos?
Yeah.
What if you hit 4 meepos?
Oh, it's on the wrong team. Yeah, I was gonna say it's on the wrong team. He could have been Arcana farming. Yeah, that's the real counter to Meepo.
Yep. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Koikfa, he's starting out with the quad mango this game for the lane. I wonder how much they're gonna address this. I'm expecting Taiga to actually move mid a lot this game. I feel like they're gonna leave Boxy at some point bottom by himself, and Taiga's just gonna keep roaming and just looking to set up on Weehaw with some triple raises to shut this Meepo down to mess up the timing. But we'll see. I think that would be one of the really good ideas that he can do, because it's a Chen clockwork. Like Mirana's gonna be just chilling down bottom, arrowing whatever creep that gets taken over.
Yeah, that's true. And
ooh, he misses.
Should be under no threat of dying as the Mirana in this lane. And
he missed the first range creep already with the arrow.
And I think the thing is as well with the 2 of them, that they're not really going to get kills onto GH and Mind Control, right? They're relatively tanky, and Mind Control's got that aura with their headdress. They've got a lot of sustain, so yeah, it feels hard for Liquid to make a play onto a hero in this duo.
Exactly. That's why I feel like it's just probably a better allocation of resources if he does make his way over there, because they're just going to get harassed pretty hard down bottom. GH does take a tower hit, but it's just fine.
I mean, meanwhile, mid lane, you know, Koikfa just landing the razors on his own. He's forcing Weehaw to get that regen really ferried out to him. You know, the razors, they absolutely hurt the Speedpo every time he tries to step forward and clean the wave out. And Koikfa is off to a very solid start in the early levels.
He's already level 3, and he has the double mango at the ready too. He can already start priming Weehaw.
Weehaw's got to be careful. He's gonna potentially take a lot of damage if Koikfa does want to commit with them. We'll pop the first one, as Weehaw just has that last tango. I mean, sure, he can start getting extra regen out, but it's going to take a bit of time with the movement of the courier at this early stage of the game.
GH, he's actually trying to just pull some creep waves, it looks like, bottom for the Chen, so they can maximize a little better. Taiga is chasing, just to at least bother that one. Okay, so top, let's take a look at this lane. I don't think this is going to be a really exciting one. I don't really want to even look too much up here, because it's going to be an Oracle just dispelling off. I mean, if he does go for Shadow Strike, you see Miracle obviously has not skilled anything yet. Save him for the Scream of Pain.
And he doesn't.
And I think it should be a pretty passive kind of farm style up there.
And do you like this sort of draft style from Nigma, where they say, well, we've got a Meepo. We are going to purely build around this very clean timing of you know, with this off-lane Chen, this safe lane Queen of Pain, where you're investing everything into having this really powerful spike quite early in the game.
Yeah, I think it's a really perfect kind of option, and we've seen these Queen of Pains in the safe lane do well even when they're not playing on just a tempo kind of setting draft. They've actually been able to go for like these Orchid timings or something like that and actually become a real carry as well. And look at this, Koikfa, yeah, he's owning the lane. Weehaw actually just getting pushed away just because of that Shadow Fiend.
No, he's gonna have to start catching up in the jungle here to the side.
Yeah, I want Koikfa. I actually missed that one. Wow. Okay, they actually were able to set up an aggressive play up here. Sanya pushing himself up just a little bit too far versus that double range.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Yeah, has to be careful. They do have good bursts, and particularly when Kuro has the Maledict skilled, the combination of that with a leveled up Scream will hurt.
If he takes it. Right now it's more of just a farmer, or more of a just kind of sustain. It makes sense to this game, as we mentioned, for several different reasons, the aura and everything. It's going to make a lot of sense if he puts multiple points in the Voodoo Restoration. So this game, I was going to mention how Koikfa, I feel like I want him to build tanky, but also I feel like an early BKB or somebody to have a way to get him out of cogs. Shadow Fiend versus Clockwork is always one of those weird matchups where Shadow Fiend hates getting collapsed upon, even if he's ahead. And yeah, Clockwork always is going to be able to do that. So I would like Koikfa to try to go for that one early. Just some type of defensive item for himself. Will also luck out with the rune on an Arcane top.
Yeah, very fortunate for him as well, because GH was also hovering around, seeing if he could get an angle on him.
Oh, bottom.
They're trying to make a go onto Mind Control. Bo3 still got a leap. He's got the full tool set to go. As Bo3 does have to back off as GH comes in. That will at least save Mind Control as Mind Control's able to keep himself out of the way. Bo3 very long on region. Okay, he's got the back with Tiger. Tiger did have a stealth to top him up. But it is interesting that they do still decide to have Tiger down here. I mean, do you continue, like, even though he's sort of jungling in the camps, do you feel like Liquid could try and play up into the high ground and try and bully Weehaw in his positioning now, or is it a lot harder now that he's kind of left the lane as a meepo?
It's too hard now. He's got like the two meepos. He's in the jungle constantly. They want to try to get kills. They might be able to get this one on Mind Control. They will. All
right. They're finally able to get the kill down there. Comes up to the bounty rune spawns. Arrow's going to be juked out by GH, so be able to grab the one, and already Weehaw was able to get the other deeper in his jungle.
They got all four.
They did. Good cash bonus for Nigma, and 5 minutes in, very even right now. Less than 1k gold difference in it.
Yeah, even though Shadow, you know, as you mentioned, Koikfo's having that fantastic start, it's Meepo. He hits his level 4, goes to the jungle, catches up extremely quickly. Maybe now Taiga, I don't believe, does he have a ward? Should be, okay, not coming out on the courier. I thought maybe they'd give him the ward, but he already placed one at that bounty area on the right. So now he can start looking to kill whenever Weehaw does show his face. And they have a catapult, so that's the important one.
They're going to try it. They do manage to connect with the stun. A few raises would do it, but Weehaw's already able to poof out to the side. Jumps back. GH comes in with the TP, and Liquid have to retreat.
It's Arcane Rune Shadow Fiend, though, so he still has a lot of mana to work with. And to keep the... Ooh, catapult actually does get taken out there. He's unable to keep it alive. But that was definitely the right move. I like that one by Taiga. He's trying to protect his ward, but yeah, Weehaw knew that they'd placed that one there. Immediately takes it out.
I'm looking at this top lane. Miracle's farm, it's not amazing. You know, he's certainly being kept out back a little bit as the trade's being made there between him and Mickey, with Mickey having the edge in this lane right now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
He's gonna have a good creep wave coming in underneath the tower too. The level timings what matter the most here for Miracle. Once he gets that 6, he'll be more than prepared to make rotations and blow up any sort of dives that come in from Liquid.
GH.
Wrapping around, Mickey trying to cut himself out of the cogs. He's out to the side. Tiger comes in with a reaction. There's a good kick as well, connecting on the 3 of them, slowing them all down. Mickey hiding in the trees. He'll be fine to regen up. And with this rotation, they're all so low. They'll kill off Miracle. GH, he'll cog in Tiger, but he cannot keep himself alive, as they'll be able to clean up both of them. Nigma just diving a little too deep there.
They really wanted to push the issue because they still had their catapult alive, so they wanted to get the tower damage as high as possible while also going for that one, but just a little too overzealous. Not even able to get the kill versus that tanky DK as he's gotten the 3 points in Dragon Blood. Level 2 Maledict. He just sustains through it. 18 HP per second.
Come towards mid. Weehaw will show himself. Tiger quite in range to get the roll off. They've got the ward down here as well, so good vision of Tiger's movements. But Tiger,
middle tower is under attack.
Take that one out. Tower in the mid lane goes down. 7 minutes in, a very, very quick tower taken.
And look, he actually does do exactly what I was talking about. First item BKB queued up. He's going to switch it as soon as I say that. But very good choice to go for that this game, so you can match the pace that Nigma's going to try to set. And for the reasons I said before, versus Clock, you almost have to go for this item on Shadow Fiend early.
Yeah, because is rushing a 4-star just never really viable on the core? Does it just feel bad?
It doesn't get you as much as you'd like, right? Like if you want a Dragon Lance or Hurricane Pike would be fantastic, but too expensive as bottom.
Yeah. See if they can finish him off. Bo3 is turned upon, has been maledicted. Tiger's the focus, but there's the save. Insane is able to come in, provide a bit of heals. GH still staying on top, will be able to block out the rolling boulder. Tiger trying to run a few more right clicks, will finish him off. Nigma do manage to push the Earth Spirit out of the game. Keeping it even again. I mean, this is already a whole lot better for Nigma compared to what we saw at the start of game 1.
Yeah.
There's a close beginning. Weehaw's getting his farm as the Meepo.
He's far up. GH is there. They have the invis. Do they have detection for him?
They do. They've got the root. They've got him trapped.
They got him.
Big rotations from GH.
There's always going to be the scary thing about Shadow Fiend. Even if you're ahead, if you get collapsed on, you die so easily.
And Miracle also coming over. Does have the Sonic Wave ready to blow.
Okay, he's actually queued up for... okay, he's going to be the one doing this aura at least. So he's kind of acting as that offlane QOP that we've seen. He's going to be going for the mech, and Mind Control's doing Dominator.
I mean, how does that sort of affect the timing as well? Like, in what situation as a QOP are you going straight for the mech rather than the more common Necro book into the mech?
I guess they just really want to be able to just take advantage, and it's like Cinder was mentioning, right? It's all going to be about that first Roche timing, because then they can just take over the whole map. So I think he just wants to get it as fast as possible.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he is going to get it quick, as you say. It's going to be online, as we say, we just don't see QOPs getting it as the first item. They're very... And pretty much always is the level 1 Necro book on the way.
Yeah, because it's like it's kind of like people. I know I've seen a couple people mention it's like a pseudo kind of Midas now in a way, because you're not only just getting the usage of it, which lets you farm everywhere, but you get so much mana regen from it, which is fantastic on a hero like QOP, who already has a natural way to farm with Scream of Pain.
Yeah, and one of the things when you do go straight for the mech is, you know, that plus your spells, that's kind of your whole mana pool gone. You know,
yeah, he at least has a faded. He has a brooch at least, so it's at least a little bit extra mana that he and he's gone for arcane boots.
Top Bo3. He gets one. Miracle's going to come in with the TP, trying to hold on to this tower. This tower is going to go down with the three of them pushing on. Mickey with the other Dragonfall steps over Miracle, but Miracle blows him up with the Sonic Wave. A little bit of a surprise from the trees there, as Mickey just underestimating the damage that would fly out. Miracle will blink over to the side, but Quoitfa's here with a haste rune. The arrow connects, and Miracle is going to pay the price with his life. I mean, it looked cool.
It was. I mean, it was still a really good play by Miracle. You can't underestimate how strong Sonic Wave is early. 340 pure damage is just absolutely insane this early in the game. So it gets the kill for himself at least. Does not get a tower deny, so Liquid still pretty happy with that movement, able to get that follow-up kill. Those are levels looking like for everybody. Level 6 is on both supports for Liquid. Level 5 still on the supports for Nigma. Everything else about even.
Into the jungle they go.
Miracle,
Nigma.
yeah. Mind Control brings him down here.
Gonna be the route coming through, but already out with the blink to the side. Tiger looking towards GH.
That
GH
arrow.
Kicked into it straight away. Tiger able to find the perfect setup, getting him in reach of Bo3. Excellent coordination.
And we see Taiga, he's actually queuing up for an item which I was talking about a lot the other day on FNG, doing it on the Witch Doctor. Going for the Veil early. Really like it. They have so much magic damage that's going to be amplified up versus that Meepo.
Yeah, you need it against the Meepo, yeah.
Yeah, and in particular, too, you're going to be able to counteract the potential of them going for all those, you know, those auras. They're going to eventually go for the pipe and everything, too, so this will be a good way to at least nullify it a little bit.
How's talking about the Meepo, how's Wea's farm looking? He's halfway through the Eagle Song, already has the Ghost Scepter, so E-Blade will be there in, and you know, sort of the timing that he'd expect to be getting as this Meepo. He is there at the top net worth, and his game is, you know, it's all on track for Weeha's Meepo. He's getting the space to clear out the jungle just as he would wish, as Liquid haven't really been able to get over here and pressure this Meepo's farm early on. He is going to hit this first item timing.
Yeah. It's always going to be tough to get like onto the opposing side of the map, even if you have good heroes to push out lanes. You're playing versus Chen. Chen's always just going to have creeps pushing in. You got rockets flying, and then Queen of Pain also pushes lanes in really fast. So interesting to point. Boxy's actually queued up. I don't know if he's going to switch, but he's actually just got a straight MKB queued.
Yeah, dude. Well, I know you had the series off yesterday, but he did this yesterday, and he smashed with it. He ended the game like 16-1-14. He went double Wraith Bands into the MKB. And then I think he went for the Daedalus straight up after it. He like went full right click, and he had an insane game. So this is sort of, as I did advise the viewers when we saw it yesterday, I was like, don't jump to do this straight away in your pubs. You know, go offlane Mirana and farm an MKB. But Boxy, he makes it work.
Sure, I mean, I'm down. I like MKB Maelstroms. Those are always like the neat item builds on Mirana that work really well for damage. Top. They're trying to set up for Miracle, but the wraparound.
That's a big wraparound. Yeah, GH and Kuro are here. They'll lead him with a hook shot straight away onto Quoit for Tiger Jump. Oh, they'll try and take a bit of the share, but there's the bounce over. False Promise comes in onto Quoit for the fear. Pushes back the three of them. He turns with the raises, takes down Kuro. GH and Miracle have to back up. They did manage to blow up Tiger, but they do not get that SF as they would hope for.
I love that play, though, by Tiger. Oh, bottom. Mickey, he's invis. He's set up on MC.
Gonna start slowing him. Quoit looking to clear up the army, as he's going to get a fair few of these creeps. Dragon Tail to buy a bit more time, but looks like Mind Control He's got the movement speed to get himself out of there. They won't be able to quite stay on top.
So that's cool. They talked about a little bit on the panel about like kicking people out of the cogs and stuff like that, but that's a pretty cool thing that Taiga can do is if Koikva is in a rough spot, he can just roll in and eat the death.
Yeah.
He rolls in, kicks Koikva out, gets in position for the Oracle to save. That's definitely really nice. As 2 items picked up, DK now Blink, and that big timing for Nigma. The Ethereal Blade is finished. And I believe the mech as well is done for Miracle. It's about to be.
Yeah. 100 gold off the recipe, and he's going to have it. And they're going to smoke up. So this first reveal of the E-Blade, who's he going to find? That's an excellent lead-in. They managed to find themselves. The SF Tiger tries to roll across to help, but with the Sonic Wave, it's too much burst for Koikva to sustain. They kill off the SF. Now they can try and move in for more. They're looking to chase down Mickey. Mickey's Elder Dragon form will come to an end. He's still allowed to blink off to the side. They're trying to chase down Insania. There comes the E-Blade Blast to slow him down. They surround him, and Nigma will be able to take a second as We Are comes into play with this E-Blade and can start really putting the pressure onto Liquid as Nigma start to enter this realm of the game where their draft hits the power spike.
Yep, huge power spike here. Now, Mech is coming out, like you said, and they kill the Shadow Fiend now right before he's about to finish BKB. That could have been pretty different there if he did have it finished up and he was able to actually get his spells off at all. But yeah, now this is changing the whole dynamic of the game as they're almost fully online with exactly what they want to have for the game. The pipe is about to be done, Mech is done, everything's coming together.
Now all in on this moment for Nigma. Now that they are heading over towards the direction of Roshan, Liquid's going to have everyone alive. I mean, is it a point, and with the items they have, that they can just step into the pit, or is that something they can't really get away with when Liquid is up as 5?
Ooh, should be scary because Shadow Fiend loses all his souls as well, right? When he dies, he loses half, so he's got to like kind of recuperate and build that up. They don't have Dragon form ready. Okay,
so you think Nigma could go in and take it?
They might just be able to, yeah. Level 3 Penitence as well. It should die at a decent pace. I don't know. It should be tough. No BKBSF. Maybe is he going to sell something to buy? I don't know. That's too much.
What's his money look like? Yeah.
He's got to sell something too big. He's going to sell like the wand. That's...
Yeah, selling the circlet is still going to leave you about 100 short.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. Yeah, he is going to have to head out and hit a creep.
And he doesn't have... I mean, he'll have Requiem by the time, kind of, when they're all set up around that Roche, but... This one looks like Nigma should just be able to get away.
Pretty much the timing that Liquid really needs to get done is Boxy's MKB. And then at least at that point, when the fights do kick off, he can leap in and just shoot someone down and have a pretty good shot of doing it. Obviously, there are ways to play around it. Nigma, having Weeha, having the E-Blade, he can save the target.
Mm-hmm. It's also just scary to play Mirana versus Meepo ever. Your mobility is non-existent. Yeah.
There we go. Into the pit they go. Arrow is out, but as expected, I mean, Boxy, does he really want to do this? I don't know, the hook shot will miss, and Tiger's going to try, he's in! And Mickey, he gets the snatch! The false promise is there onto Tiger, keeping him alive as well. Mickey gets in, gets the edges, gets out. The Magnetize as well, bringing Nigma low. They have to back off. Tiger will fall. Boxy jumps in from the back. He's killed off Kuro. The Magnetize is continuing to tick them down. Nigma has to escape, but they'll lose GH as well. Weeha will manage to get out of there. Miracle and Mind Control still on the retreat. They will also get away, but the jump couldn't have been better there from Liquid getting in. They didn't get the kill, but they got what mattered. They got that Aegis, which would have been so important, a crucial pickup that Nigma needs to really add to their power spike. Liquid's just gone and taken that away from them.
I mean, that's the dream. That really is the dream. Slowing down a Meepo lineup, you'd get that Aegis now. Now you have your BKB timing on your Shadow Fiend too. This could turn out to be a really close game. This is pretty exciting. That is a huge move for them.
Perfect timing from Tiger and Mickey with that blink, which I think it had only just been picked up before that play happened. Had it at the perfect moment.
Yep, and Boxy with that arrow from the back lines to kind of mess with them too, because they put some attention to him on a second there too, and then he gives all that information for his team to jump in. Super, super good for Liquid.
We'll see what the move now is for Nigma. You know, you got to imagine in their heads at this point in the game they would be pushing with an Aegis. They haven't got that Aegis, so things have slowed down a little bit again for them. At least more so than they would have liked.
Yeah, and now, like we said, they're versus that BKB Shadow Fiend who has the protection for himself versus all this is Taiga.
Blink out from Miracle to the side, turns over towards Taiga, starts to punch back at him. Also with the wraparound, Kuro and We Are, they're coming in, they're looking for Insania. Cars, oh, the bounces, the coconuts, it couldn't be better. Perfect coconut play there from Kuro. As the two of them, both Quakefoot and Insania, caught right next to each other, holding hands and taken to the grave.
They still have, I mean, they still have all this timing coming together anyway. Even without that Aegis, all these auras, they're still relentless looking for the chase. Knowing that their power spike is still there even without it. They can still kill all the heroes of Liquid quite easily.
Bo3 very close to completing that MKB. Need to be wary. How's We Are doing after the E-Blades? Yeah, they're purely looking for this setup.
Tower is under attack.
And obviously the Silver Edge going to be incredibly useful, taking down a big old DK later on in the game once Mickey does have a few items upon him. And most of the time, as you saw there, I think for Nigma, it's going to be about finding the supports. You know, if they're able to instantly take out Insania before the fight kicks off, suddenly, you know, even with the BKB, if this SF gets surrounded by an army of Meepos, he's still going to be slowly beat down.
Yeah, and there's also damage that will go through that BKB. There still is a Sonic Wave. There still is, I mean, we'll throw the Death Ward in too for Kuroki.
Nigma finish off this tier 2 tower down bottom. Continuing to take the objectives at very good pace this game. 4K lead for them right now.
They're just going to have so much sustain in that side of these fights. How's our mind control Chen? Still not quite level 12 for that level 2 Hand of God, which gets quite a lot better from that 250 to 425. But they're going to have so many different forms of heal. Pipe, Greaves, I think are finished too. See how Liquid does choose to take these next few moments for themselves. They still have about a minute left on that Aegis. Do they want to press anything? Just guard their outpost, it looks like.
Scan comes in as Nigma starts to sweep across towards them. Bo3 showing in the lane, has finished the MKB. It's on its way out. GH is...
stalking him.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh!
He was invisible. GH couldn't see him, you know?
Oh no, that... Oh. Hey, mistakes happen. Mistakes happen to the best of us. Yeah. I mean, that was...
Their hooks blocked.
He had plenty of... They both sort of stood still before they tried for it. And then it was just bam! Right into the backside of Weeha. Oh my goodness. Well,
he's still stalking.
Yeah. He's not gonna find anything though. They're well and truly out of there. And Bo3 asked that MKB into the BKB. Wants to make sure that he does have some sort of safety if the Meepo does get on top of him.
Yeah, he needs to. He already has. I mean, he already has his damage built in for himself with that. So, Quakefoot, he's going raw damage as well. BKB into straight Crystallis. He actually gets fortunate of finding, I think this is a pretty good pickup here for the SF, is a Vambrace. You don't have the best stack in, really. So this one actually just bumps you up, especially because you went for a first item BKB. Pretty decent for him. And let's see the smoke.
Making this move without Quakefoot and Insania, but at the same time they will show mid. Maybe this allows them to catch Nigma more by surprise. We are on the front. He's going to pop the Silver Edge, starts to step in there, pop the Moonlight Shadow. Mickey's going to try and jump to the backlines, but at the same time, GH is able to get to the backlines of Nigma. Sorry, of Liquid. As they get in, they kill off the Mirana. The rest of Liquid, they've just got to roll out of it. Tiger and Insania on the retreat. Sentry's down. Jump forward from Miracle. He's trying to go up. The Quakefoot's in position. Miracle, he jumped into a trap. As Quakefoot was there, prepared. The temptation as a QOP, it's always going to be there to jump in aggressively. But with an SF waiting on the high ground, an instant death for Miracle.
Had to use the Requiem to, of course, get it, but you can tell that they were on full retreat. They can't take the fights versus Nigma's 5-man. They're too strong with all these auras. Everything built up, mind control, even queuing up that Crimson Guard next. Vlad's finished as well on the Clockwork. Yeah, these 5v5 fights, they're just far too much sustain. And this Meepo, level 17, Shadow Fiend, kind of keeping up with it.
Maelstrom on Mickey. Deal a bit more with the army that's going to be running at them down these lanes. But still very much Nigma continuing to hold on to this strong moment that they have right here for the opening of this match with this lineup. They're playing fast, they're taking towers, they're sitting around this top lane ready to push in again. Miracle halfway, just over halfway towards his Orchid. They're diving, he'll try and him back, but with the root control from Weeha, Tiger will fall. Nigma just continues to eat up heroes, consume the map, play to the advantage that they absolutely have right now. 6k lead, they can start knocking on the high ground. They have everything required. The question is, Liquid, can they push this back?
They don't have deep push. Their deep push is raises. That's pretty much it. It's very difficult for them. They get the arrow connection onto Weeha here. The follow-up.
Try, but GH, she's in with a hook shot. The Sonic Wave on the three of them. The BKB has come out as well as the false promise, and it wasn't quite enough burst to kill them. Mickey, the coconut's bouncing over towards him, but he's able to hide himself. With the Moonlight Shadow, they keep him safe. There's now the arrow off the mark from Bo3. Liquid, can they try and catch anyone here? Nigma up to the high ground they go. Nobody ending up going down there. They didn't have enough follow-up after that Sonic Wave to get any of the kills, and all it was is just a bit of a pushback on Liquid as Liquid hold the high ground, and they do manage to keep that tier 3 alive.
But they pulled all of Liquid back to their base is the big thing, and now Weeha, he's a meepo. This is the dream for a meepo, is when you do force an enemy into their base like this, you just send your meepos, push out all the lanes, farm extra camps, and you guys can hold this aggressive stance and kind of chokehold them inside of their base. Liquid's trying to use this smoke to get themselves out there, maybe catch the meepo when he is going for this push. This could be a pretty nice read by them.
Oh yeah, if they can get the jump. They're feeling that he could be on their side of the map's not the case. He is a lot deeper. He's farming very safely with the rest of his meepo army, and safe enough that it will not be found by this movement from Liquid.
Yeah, they'll know this is happening. Look at those creeps. Creeps are hitting their base, so immediately you know that Liquid is most likely smoking down on that bottom side. Weeha shifts himself toward the top jungle and now rejoins his team.
And this is just all in all so far. Solid performance from Nigma with the meepo lineup. And we are showing that this very much is a hero that if they seize a chance to get it in a great opportunity, he's going to be able to play a brilliant game. 7-0-2, no deaths on the meepo this match. As Mickey caught alone in the jungle, things just continuing to go to Nigma's advantage. And with this meepo just accruing the mass that he has, it's just hard to see a way that Liquid's going to ever be able to shut him down now.
I'm just looking at the Queen of Pain attack animation. I just love it.
Oh, is that the whip?
No whip.
Another whip.
I'm just so distracted.
There we go. Forward. Tiger is going to try and commit. They do have the fear, pushing him back, and in fact, he's falling fast. Oh, wow. He's dead. All right, they're finally able to get that kill on Weeha, and to be honest, he died pretty darn quickly there with a full combo coming out. GH is going to try and fight on, and Weeha is going to buy back. Tiger will fall outside the base. Quitefoot trying to beat through the cogs to get up to the high ground, but Kura's in with the Death Ward. He has got the invis, but the dust is there upon him. False promise comes out from Insane as they desperately try and get him back to the base on the side. Bo3 being chased, the roots upon him. He bladed as well. They've got the burst, bringing him low. Tiger rolls forward. Bo3's able to lead to the side. The kick as well from Tiger, keeping Bo3 alive. He's pushing him back in the midst of it all, though. Quitefoot surrounded. They kill the SF. Quitefoot's got no buyback. Weeha steps over towards Mickey. The meepo buyback paying off big time as they're just cleaning up Liquid, pushing them back to the fountain. Tiger's dead without buyback. So will Mickey fall.
Here for us.
As this game looks to be well and truly meepoed. Weeha may have had a rough one on the Invoker in game one, but this game, a very, very smooth performance from him. 8-1 and 6 ending it up. They'll take the tier 4s. Nigma can move on to the Ancient. They'll kill off Bo3 before the final GG is likely to be called. A buyback comes out. Bo3 fighting to the last moments, but this game is over. Game 2, 26 minutes in. Nigma will equalize the series. And the draw, it was just perfect. They knew exactly what they wanted to run with this meepo lineup. Liquid, they had a pick or two to try and react to the meepo. They just couldn't find something that worked for it. Nigma had just set up the draft in a way that this 26